There we go. Okay. Hyperionquasar. This is so bad. Let's start. Trick and treat. Hear me out. Wait. Have I? Out of my way. Have I gotten all the achievements here? I don't even know how to do that. Turn game. Okay. God damn it, this is so bad. Ugh. Can I load a save? No, I didn't even have a save. Big sad. Can I get Discord up real quick? Soundlord. It seems like your Soundlord bar source is offline. Refresh the source. Give me a second. Soundlux told me it wasn't working. How do I fix sound alerts? Oh. Oh, okay. I got time till someone shows up. Let's do screen real quick. Oh, I don't have sound alerts active yet. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. The sound of our footsteps, combined with that of the occasional nocturnal owl, is the only thing we can hear. It's terrible dark in this place. The dense vegetation makes it impossible to see the sky or light from the moon. Our flashlights are the only thing that lighten up our way. I need to reset this, okay. At times this begs to not run out of battery. We walk without knowing that we are really looking for, or better said, for no reason. We are just a group of boys, bored with our life, trying to create a lasting memory on this night instead of just staying home, doing nothing. Today is October 31st, All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. 3 young men walk through the dark, but until now, nothing special forced. Me being one of them. We are doing it to prove our courage. It's too bad there isn't a girl here to see how brave we are. Seeing it like that, one could say this is a meaningless effort. For a moment, I stopped looking at my watch. It's 1:49 a.m. Man, I want Kith here. I need someone here so I don't feel like I'm just talking endlessly to the thing. Anyway, for a moment I stopped to look at my watch. It's 1:49 a.m. That means we've been walking aimlessly for more than 2 hours now. I'm sure that many people could find a place like this terrifying. But once you get used to it, the fear disappears, making it feel like normal. What makes us afraid of the dark is that we cannot know what hides in it, what lurks in the shadows. But it's clearly an empty darkness. That moment I feel how tired my legs feel. What's the point of being here? Clearly we had already demonstrated what we wanted. It'd be best to return. I should tell them. I was about to speak when suddenly the atmosphere and the force became strange. Suddenly a cold chill runs through my body. It was like any other chill, except it was not going away. For no reason, the air temperatures dropped from 1 second to the other. So much so, my breath becomes visible, turning into mist. Doesn't end there. The air is now filled with a rotten smell, a short from being unbearable. Okay. The images of worms and flies soon appear in my mind, giving me a real unpleasant feeling. We all stop at that moment. What's happening? I asked, confused, while looking at my friends. Oh, that's the main character's voice. It's gonna be my voice from now on. But the expression on their faces is easy to know what they're just as lost as I was. Then I heard footsteps nearby that did not come from any of us. We all got dead quiet after that. I don't know if it was out of fear or to check if it was not a mistake, but we stayed motionless like statues without making a noise. Just looking at each other's faces, wondering the same thing. What is happening? As if I know. I heard the steps again. They clearly belonged to a human, or at least some large animal, but there was something strange about them. Sounds as if the person walked dragging one foot. Just about it made me shiver. Damn, why is this happening? It makes no sense. We should have returned home before, but now it's too late to regret it. I have a feeling we're being stalked by someone. The strange footstep stops, but I'm still feeling the presence nearby. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it's looking at me. That cursed thing is looking at me. My heart is beating anxiously. It's almost as if my body was telling me to get out of there. But strangely, my friends seemed unable to perceive it. It seems as if it's gone. We must have just been an animal, you know, said one of them, convinced that we were safe. I would like to believe that too. We had a sigh of relief. However, bad luck would soon strike us again. Unexpectedly, the forest became darker than before in the blink of an eye. But that wasn't the fault of the forest, but of our flashlights, which went out. Of the three, only one, mine, was still working. What's going on here? Did the batteries die? One of them asked, scared, while they both beat them desperately as if they were going to revive them. Can't blame them. The idea of walking in the darkness was not pleasant for anyone. But after a few moments, we had no choice but to resign ourselves to that. Once more, the sound of footsteps is heard. But the silence is different now. We are not quite quiet because we have nothing to say, but we are afraid. We continue walking despite the fear that evades us. Visibility is almost zero, but we have no choice. In theory, we were walking back looking for the exit, but I cannot remember anything of this forest. We could be walking in circles and I would never notice it until it's too late. I hate the thought of it. I just want to get out of here. Suddenly my thoughts are silenced. We hear the footsteps of someone or something. Once more the three of us became statues waiting for the presence to go. I hold my breath while feeling my heart beat anxiously. Damn! Get away from here and leave us alone! Expected the steps are heard closer. This time they did not disappear, but rather come at us. Can't stand it. I desperately move my flashlight everywhere, looking for the author of those footsteps. Hopping in the night to reveal their identity and erase our fears. Nothing. Is that all there is around here? Just empty air? My anxiety grows with each failed attempt. I refuse to believe that it was a ghost. Suddenly, when I move my flashlight again, I see a silhouette. Could not distinguish what it was, but for a moment the light revealed something. Quickly, I pointed to the same place, only to discover it was gone. I hold my breath anxiously. It was not an illusion. I am sure that I saw something. And it was then I heard something nearby. Without even thinking, I aimed the light towards that place. Flashlight! What I found leaves us paralyzed with an expression of disbelief on our faces. It's a white cat with eyes of an intense red, which stands before us. Her look is not the friendliest, to say something. Somehow I get the feeling it's a female cat. Suddenly she lets out a thunderous meow, and then leaves us terrified. It sounds more like a lion roaring than a simple cat. The echo of her meow is heard throughout the forest, making it sound more sinister than it should be. It was then that suddenly an inexplicable force hits us three. Here, let me turn you off real quick. I need to do something real quick. My monitoring thing is the deads. Where's my phone? Okay, it's in Discord. Okay. Okay. Hello, if you're actually there, feel free to say hi. I just had a dead tablet die, so I have to pull my phone up so that way I can actually pay attention to if my bit rate's good. It was then that suddenly an inexplicable force hits us three. Ah! Flashbang! I hate it so much. I got blinded by the light. I fall to the ground, and little by little my eyelids close, and the fatigue becomes unbearable. Oh, you're here, Sigma? Hey, Sigma! How's you doing? I found 5 free non get me banned from Twitch dating sims on Steam. So that's what I'm doing tonight, I guess. Interlude before night falls. This is actually one that I've had for a very long time. This dating sim has been in my Steam archive for like almost 5 years now, I think, maybe even more. Honestly, I could be 7 at this point. But I 100%ed the achievements, so I am currently judging myself hardcore based off how it is. I remember who I picked, like who my favorite girl was, but I'm gonna play it for a stream. It was a day like any other. Give me 1 second. I gotta. Yeah, okay. It was a day like any other. So normal that it was almost painful. The only special thing is that it was Halloween. Far were the memories when I was a kid and went out with my friends to ask for sweets from house to house. Just remembering it made me sigh. I feel nostalgic. Some things were better when I was a child, or at least seems like that. There were some who had good costumes, whether of superheroes or monsters. My friends, on the other hand, had to use our imagination. Creativity was our costume, you could say, no matter how funny it could sound. I remember that my mother once painted red my face and told me, "You will be the devil." But it seemed only she saw it that way, and when we went from home to home, everyone said I was the tomato man. But those things didn't matter to me since we always had a good time. If I ask for candy now, even if I had the best costume, I'm sure no one would give me anything. Except perhaps a scolding for acting like a child when I am 17 years old. God damn it. Sigma, I was 919 when I played this. Oh my god. I feel even more judging myself now. Wait, no, actually, I think. Yeah. It was probably a year into my first YouTube channel. But anyway, I can't stay in the past. I must live in the present, no matter how little exciting that might be. Back to reality. We are groups of friends who don't have any plans at all for this night. So, the owliest one of us said, let's play a bunch of dating sims. And now, we're in hell. We're still not old enough to go to a disco. God damn. And I doubt guys as us would have any luck in that environment, if you know what I mean. Was that an actual passable wink? Okay, I'm gonna say it wasn't. And the other option would be go to a party, meet girls, have some fun, get crunked. Everything perfect except that nobody has invited us. Not being popular has its disadvantages. Hey, Axel, let's have a couple matches. What do you say? My friend Steven called my attention while playing with the game console. Oh my god, do I actually have to give individual voices for the friends now? Rush Red, I believe that's what the game is called. A fast and quite complicated fighting game for me. I would normally agree to play with him, but for some reason I didn't feel in the mood today. I have no desire to play now. I replied with discouragement. I almost feel bad for doing it. Boring. The AI is no rival for me, Steven said with confidence. That you're playing on normal difficulty does not help your argument. I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge Alfred, I said, leading the attention to my other friend. I don't know how to play that game, answered Alfred, doubting for a second. He is sitting behind the PC, but it seems that he isn't doing anything interesting. The screen only shows a lot of text. I think he is in Wikipedia. Hey, don't you do something more fun to do? I asked with discouragement, but even thinking about how he was reading. Alfred looked at me surprised. The actual problem of society is that people are not interested in discovering their history. He is one of those pseudo-intellectuals that are always looking for any rare information to appear smarter than others. When we forget our past mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them. Like Quasar, he forgot how he felt about this game, so he's doomed to repeat them no matter how they were. What are you talking about? This village is small and its story is not interesting at all. Nothing outside of the normal has ever happened in it. Alfred locks mockingly after hearing that. Your ignorance is priceless. He pauses, filling his chest with pride. The very fact it's a small town is the reason it's full of mysteries. Do you know that 20 years ago on a date, a man disappeared? So, what about it? I asked without being impressed or even interested in the least. Things like that happen all the time, in all places. As I thought, you don't know the history just by living in this very place, Alfred said while adjusting his glasses in an arrogant gesture. There is a legend behind the disappearance. That is what I was reading. After listening to him, I looked back at the computer screen with curiosity. Can I just auto this? No, come on, read this and learn a little, Alfred said, inviting us to read what was on the screen. Both Steve and I moved closer to read it. Town of Abingdon, Oxford Country, 1994. I came to this town with only 4,000 inhabitants to support them in an investigation. Truth is that never in my life have I seen something this strange. I won't say your typical detective-ish nonsense that I've seen thousands of strange things in my life. I've seen many crimes, yes. Some difficult to solve, and all of them were human. Even if you don't know what they managed to perpetrate the crime, you know that there are people like anyone else. But in this case, I don't think I'm able to say the same thing. Truth is, I can't understand what happened. I was called for the disappearance of a man named Matthew Gramcracker, 23 years old, single. The last time he was seen, he was returning home from a Halloween party. He had drank the alcohol, but was still sober. Or at least, that's what the witnesses said. Anyway, it was not something which can be explained with a simple drunkenness. He apparently got lost on the way home and decided to enter the forest known as Oakwood. It rained yesterday, so the ground was wet and muddy. We could easily find his traces, which were leading deep in the forest. Apparently he walked for 3 hours before stopping. I said stop, but the truth is we don't know what happened then. The tracks suddenly ended in a clearing in the forest. And that's all. There's no evidence of a struggle, no other trace, or pieces of clothing on the ground. There was no blood, no more footprints, or anything else. The death of his last footprints and the position it was indicated he was still walking. At no point he stood still. It was as if he had vaporized in the air, with all of his clothes, in the middle of his walk. Obviously, I can't believe such a thing. But I can't give another explanation. The only thing I remember is that near the foot I sense a faint smell of rot. However, there's no animal corpses nearby. This is ridiculous to think he suddenly started to decay and became earth. In the end, the case was closed in just 3 days. With no evidence of any kind, we couldn't say anything but that he decided to escape from the village. However, while officially there was no more I could do, I couldn't sleep in peace. Thinking about what had happened to him took away my sleep. In my mind, I thought all sort of theories, like maybe everything was planned and developed by Matthew. But in the end, they all seemed impossible. I decided to investigate more on this issue. I searched the town for familiar stories and blah 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 blah. Can I just get to the waifus, please? Interesting story. I don't know what such a story hidden in this town. I said honestly surprised, even if it was a lie. I managed to hold my interest, I guess. Wait, there's something more. Wait, there's something more. Alfred said at the same time he scrolls to the comments. We read what is written there. A couple comments call our attention. Both of them talk about some creature. At the time they felt horrible fear for what could happen to them. Can I skip? Hide. Here we go. Oh. What's the setup? Transitions enabled. Display mode. I don't care what it is. Text speed. There we go. Here we go, baby. Alfred giggles with little shame. Partly, yes. He admitted it. He was secretly everyone silent, knew. Well, well. Now we have an activity for tonight, said at the same time he makes a face overflowing with enthusiasm. What? I asked, completely lost. I thought we were just killing time. Simple. Let's go to that forest. Stephen replied without hesitation. I seemed really fascinated by the story. Are you insane? Said Alfred, unable to believe what he just heard. You only needed to look at his face to know he did not like the idea. Despite everything you heard, you want to go. Of course, it would be a strength of courage among us three. Replied Stephen, full of confidence, perhaps too much confidence. Honestly, he should have relaxed a bit and everything, but you know, he was kind of a dick. He was the dick of the group. Don't tell me you're afraid. No, why should I be afraid? Sigma, crazy idea. Should I crank this up to 11 and try to speed read as fast as it can go? I want to speed run this. Hey, look, Void Spawn's back. That's nice. No. No, Dad, you have to read all of it in vivid detail. It's fine. No. Why should I be afraid? Wait, no, that's Alfred. I guess if I have to read it all, I'm doing the voices. No. Why would I be afraid? Answered Alfred at the same time he folds his arm, making a falsely gesture of security. It's more obvious that you are afraid, Alfred. Almost as much as when you have to talk with a girl. And what about you, Axel? Don't tell me you won't come. Suddenly, Stephen asks me at the same time, looking at me mockingly. Don't tell me you want to be the chicken of this group. I can't stop you. Do what you want. I hate that tone of voice he uses. I will never give you that. I said without thinking, showing a confident smile and looking. Well, let's not say more. Take your coats, backpacks, flashlights, food, and we are going to that motherfucking fabulous forest. Stephen said, fabulously. Yeah! We three said in unison, as if we were going to have some kind of private party. You know, glug-a-lug, maybe a little, you know, some good shit. But no, we're just going to walk in the woods. Okay, here we go. Here's when waifus start appearing. I'm not 80% sure. 80. I awake completely confused, not knowing how much time had passed. My head hurts like hell, but I can't blame it. I did pass out in a drunken stupor. Fortunately, the pain goes away quickly, just as my confusion. As soon as I came back to my senses, my flashlights lie on the ground, shining towards the empty air. I immediately pick it up. It was my only protection against the darkness that surrounds me. Then I remember that Stephen and Alfred were with me. Stephen! Alfred! Can you hear me? Without thinking, I screamed their names in the dark while trying to find them with my flashlight. But there's no trace. They are gone! Where the hell are they? And what the heck just happened? I don't understand anything. Shit. We should have just stayed at home. This is not a proof of courage. We could be in danger. I have to find them. Oh no. 10 minutes have passed. They're dead. Little time has passed. I started looking for my friends, but I already can't stand this place. I'm going crazy in this forest. The darkness that covers it is unnatural. It is darkness that steals your own sanity, replacing it with an anxiety. and honestly, eating it with some piety. To make it worse, the air is damp and cold as in winter, carrying a smell of rot, as if there were corpses of animals hidden throughout the forest. The atmosphere in this place is oppressive. With every step you take makes you more uncomfortable. Since I started looking for my friends, I felt that something is watching me, but there's nothing. I sigh, my voice full of frustration. I just want to get out of here. I continue walking, devoid of any hope. No matter where I look or how much I walk, I find nothing. I cannot even hear the sounds of animals. Rather, it seems they are already dead and rotting. No, I have to calm myself, I said to myself. I stopped for a moment to rest. I breathe deeply, but the rotten air of this place does me no good. I immediately start to cough as if something struck in my throat. Shit, what am I going to do? This cursed forest seems endless, and even if by a miracle I could escape, I cannot abandon Stephen and Alfred. I really screwed up. Again I sighed, feeling on the verge of tears. My frustration is building up. I have to do my best to keep calm, as if I fall into despair. There's no doubt I will be joining the list of missing persons. In the end, I decided to keep walking. Step by step, I should get somewhere. At least I was convinced that staying in the same place could not do me any good. Even if it was only to deceive myself, feeling that I am nothing. Doing something, I continued to walk. Time passes without any changes. Only the sound of my footsteps can be heard. Knowing that as soon as you stop, you'll be surrounded by a dead silence is a good incentive to keep walking. But my legs were already hurting. Smell like rotten corpse and cold, so just winter? Winter put me in here? Fuck! God damn it, I knew it was winter, but my legs were already working. You see, I was an adventurer once like you, till I took an arrow to the knee. Suddenly, I hear a crack at my feet. Instantly, I take a step back, look below. What made that sound? What's this? I whispered to myself, surprised, discovering that I had stepped on animal bone. I believe that's from an animal, although I do not rule out the possibility that it belongs to a people. But for my own good, I prefer not to think about that. An expression of anguish is drawn on my face. It's best to ignore it. I have to keep walking. Suddenly, my flashlight reveals something. I point at it, only to realize with a surprise that is the white cat. The one before, which made that awful meow. But this time, I find it lying on the ground. It appears to be fainted and high off its balls. Then what should I do? I'll pick up the cat. It's best to continue without waking her. That cat is dangerous. It's her fault I ended up in this place and my friends are missing. Wait, did I fuck up? Can I go back? Even knowing that, for some reason I can't help but feel sorry for her. Even if it's unnatural, it's still an animal. I then bent down to see her closer. She is unconscious and there's a thin line of blood coming from her mouth. I'm a real idiot, I said to myself at the same time I cleaned the blood from her mouth with the handkerchief that I happened to have on me. Fortunately, she doesn't wake up. I then close her mouth, making her appear a little better. Now she seemed to be peacefully sleeping. After a long sigh, I decided to pick her up carefully. I don't know what the powers of those cats are, but if she brought me here, maybe she can turn me to my world. With her in my arms, I decide the best thing I can do is just continue walking. Ugh. I like that it gives me time, and I still don't know the reference of time. Again, I find myself in the dark forest, aiming wondrously, the only thing forward, but it doesn't seem I'm getting anywhere. My arms, I carry the cat, which sleeps soundly. Come here. Oh, come here. Here you'll be safe. I suddenly stop. It's probably easy to see the disbelief on my face at that moment. It's that voice again. I whispered to myself, but no one's still listening to me. Shortly after I found the cat, a mysterious voice appeared in my mind. It is a feminine voice, soft and gentle, as if it belonged to a princess from a fairy tale, but I can't trust it. Am I really going crazy? Where's this force? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't like any of the options. Then I feel the cat move in my arms. I look down at her, confused, just to see her as she opens her red eyes suddenly. And be quiet at that instant. For the moment, we two stayed, motionless, staring into the eyes of the other. The red eyes of the cat are disturbing to me, but also there's something fascinating about them, something that attracts me. Dude, are you gonna fuck a cat? Because there's a level of disbelief I can give things. You better not just be fucking a cat. I lose myself in her eyes as if hypnotized until suddenly she jumps with the intent of scratching at my face. Ah! My reflex is pushing her at the same time I jump back, turning my head to dodge her claws. I manage to dodge her attacks, but in the process I drop the flashlight, weaving back and forth like some professional boxer against this cat. I panicked. The flashlight falls near me, lighting up a tree in the vicinity. As soon as it left my hands, I remembered how this enormous darkness is. I quickly pick it up, not even thinking before taking action. I then light the place where the cat is, only to discover she had arched her back angrily as if she feared an attack from me. Those red eyes stare at me, shining the light of the flashlight as if there were jewels, reflecting a fearsome hatred and rejection towards me. My body freezes after seeing them. I can't even think. The cat lets out a thunderous meow, similar to the one before, but weaker, although not any less frightening. There's no doubt there's something wrong with the animal. It must be cursed. Everything is her fault. She must be consigned an evil spirit, a pet of the witches. Now, I feel how panic seizes me. My heart beats quickly, begging me to do something. My mouth is dry and my forehead covered with cold sweat. What should I do? I'm gonna confront the cat. No, I should not despair. I have to calm down and think carefully about what I should do. With that in mind, I take a deep breath and look at her. Soon the expression of my eyes changed from fear to courage. Realize that it's literally only a cat. But, I mean, my life's not in danger. It's a freaking cat. It isn't a tiger, but literally just a common house cat. Apparently her only power are those weird meows. If she could kill me, she would have done it already. I mean, come on. She would have eaten me by now. Her work must be transporting the next victim to this area of the forest, so unnatural and shady. After filling my lungs with air, I slowly walk towards the cat. Her meow gets louder with each step, but I don't let them scare me. Seeing that I do not turn back, she shyly takes a step back. In my mind, I smell that image. The prey is now the hunter. I look at her directly while advancing. Little by little, her meows become weaker, as if she was losing strength. I suddenly jump and took her in my hands. She hardly resists at all. Not so tough now, huh? You look better like this. She's trembling in my hands. She looks so helpless that I almost feel like a villain. But I must forget that all she's done so far, it's her fault that I'm in this place. She brought me here. That if I kill her, would it possibly go back? For a moment, that grim idea crossed my mind. I'd never killed an animal. Truth is, I can't be proud of myself for doing such a thing. But if I do, maybe this legend could end here now. But what should I do? Just keep her captured. I'm not about cat murder. Honestly, I just want a pet cat. This is the true ending I'm going for. I just get a pet cat. If I kill her, everything would be over tonight and the legend would come to end. Confident that was for the best, I try to view it in my mind, but no matter how hard I force myself to see it, in the end, I'm unable to take the life of another living being that isn't an asshole. Even if it is a cursed cat serving a witch, I don't feel good killing her. I think it's too nice on my own. So the only thing that reminds me is to keep her with me, hoping that sooner or later she allows me to escape. With nothing more, then I decided the best thing to do is continue my path. Ugh. Well, at least we got time progressing at a decent pace, I guess. It's been a few minutes since I kidnapped the cat. Again, I find myself walking on arms, led by the strange voice. How long have I been walking in this forest? Apparently not enough to make me go mad. Don't be afraid. Come with me. I will help you. The voice sounds closer this time. Seems that I'm going in the right direction. I don't fully trust in it, but it's the best I have. At least at first glance it seems like a friendly voice. I'm completely focused on my way when suddenly I feel something bite me. Ah, what the heck? Showing in pain, I realized the cat bit my arm. Fortunately, it wasn't dangerous, but it sure was painful. With my distraction, she takes the chance to jump from my arms, falling a few steps away from me. Quickly, I set my gaze upon her for her furious. But soon something happens that makes me forget about my anger. Suddenly, the cat is covered with a bright light, so much that it repels the unnatural darkness surrounding the forest, stealing my breath. Under the light, the figure gradually changes until it ceases to be a cat and becomes a human figure. Cat is evolving! No longer is there a cat in front of me, but a girl with incredible beauty. I must really be going crazy. She has white hair and red eyes. She seems about my age. In other circumstances, I would have asked her out without hesitation. I mean, just thinking about it makes me laugh to myself in my mind. Even in the edge of madness, seems some things about me will never change. She approaches slowly towards me, one step at a time, with no fear. The girl then stares in my eyes with a slightly irritated face. Her lips are moving. She seems to be something, but I'm unable to hear a sound. Are you trying to tell me something? I'm babbled, still confused, with a face of disbelief which surely made me look stupid. Said the girl with a very low voice. I don't understand what she is saying. What? I can't hear you well. I asked, still confused. So then the girl pouts in a bad move. What's wrong with you? Are you deaf? Finally, I could hear her clearly. And just in time, it seems her patience was about to end. Okay, I hear you now. I said, annoyed. All my astonishment from a few seconds ago disappeared when I see the arrogant attitude of the girl. At least now I don't think she'll bite me. I hope. Don't say that, main character. Don't say that. The girl then snorts with irritation. What an annoying guy I had to find. She said at the time she places a hand on her lips, making a pensive face. Wait, you shouldn't be speaking ill of someone you have right before you. I was quick to respond. For a moment I feel annoyed at the thought that I have to teach manners to the spirit, or whatever she is. A pity. So much beauty wasted on someone so arrogant. The girl let out a snort of annoyance after hearing me. I'm sorry, it's a bad habit that I can't quit. She answered without sounding very repetitive, clearly a false apology. After talking, she diverts her glance towards the surrounding, as if she was bored. I see. I replied, annoyed. I just met her and I already feel like I don't like her. Whoa, slow down, main character. Doesn't matter. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I must not forget who this girl is. Okay, we're not forgetting her. We're making some progress. Here. She was the cat that started it all. Yeah, it's a bit weird that she turned into, and she was a cat. Like, she can transform into cats. But I guess I can't judge because I'm literally an owl sometimes. Someone's chasing me in the subway, I'll just become literally an owl and just chill near some luggage or something. Anyway, could you tell me why you attacked me and my friends? Shortly after, acting more serious. Greetings were over, it's time to get to the important stuff. And why did you bite me, as if I wasn't doing anything? Before I knew it, my lips moved, asking another question. I cannot lie, I was angry. The girl then stared at my face. She blinked with curiosity before speaking. Does it hurt, the wound? She asked, innocently. Yes? I was quick to respond with annoyance. I didn't need to say anymore. Of course it hurts, silly cat. She looked at me in silence for a few seconds until suddenly she approached me without any shyness or fear. On second thought, how could a simple human, such as me, scare a cat that could turn into a person? Show me your wound, said the girl once she stood right next to me. Her presence makes me nervous. This girl seemed to not know what personal space is. And as embarrassing as it sounds, I've never had a girl this close. If only it wasn't in this forest. I don't know why. I shouldn't trust her, but strangely, something tells me that she has no bad intentions. The girl is surrounded by a calm aura, something pure, unlike anything else in the forest. In the end, resigning myself with a sigh, I show her my arm with the bite. She immediately sets her sights on my wound. It'll only take a minute, she said with complete confidence. She then looks up into my eyes. Could you close your eyes? She says. She blushes slightly. I'm surprised to see that embarrassed face she has, even if just a little. I then sigh, feeling something wasn't right, but there is nothing else I can do. Okay, I said, doing as she asked. I didn't know what to expect. For a moment I thought she would get naked or something. I don't know, but my mind sure wanted to imagine that. Come on, Axel, keep your composure. Suddenly I feel something warm and wet touch my wound. Immediately I shudder. Wait, what are you doing? It was a stupid question, because I knew well what she was doing. She was licking my wound. You idiot, who said you could watch? I did. Quasar, gave him complete permission to watch. Was quick to respond, the cat, with her cheeks red in embarrassment and her lips still close to my wound. She looked adorably troubled. Don't you see that I'm just trying to heal you? She then added, in a bad mood, sorry, I said, blushing. I thought you would do something more extraordinary. Now I'm not sure. Is she a girl who can transform into a cat, or a cat that can become a girl? No, what matters is that she is of breeding age for her species, she has sentience, and she has the ability to completely consent. That's what matters. Clearly, she's roughly your age, looking and everything, so I assume she's of breeding age. She has sentience. I mean, she's been pissy with you this whole time, so it's fine. And then she has kept a normal, completely fine conversation this whole time. So, you're good to go, man. Sorry to disappoint you not being extraordinary enough, murmured the girl at the same time she gives me an annoyed look. Red eyes shining with disgust. As then I realized that the pain had disappeared. The curiosity I looked at the wound was only to discover there was no trace of it. For a couple seconds I stayed silent, incredulous. It seems that your treatment worked, I finally said gratefully, still looking at the spot. But of course, I've experience healing myself, answering the girl, closing her eyes, inflating her chest to show her pride. I actually appreciate what she did for me, but I still wonder if she had to lick it to cure me. I understand, but who are you? The girl makes a small snort with curiosity after hearing my question. She then tilts her head and closes her eyes, making a thoughtful face. It seems I have not presented myself. She opens her eyes and gazes into mine. My name is Ashley. So that's her name. I'm expecting something more extravagant. My name's Axel. By the way, have you been accused of witchcraft? before I knew I had asked that question. I guess it was rather rude. I mean, I lacked manners. But I must not forget for even for a second that I am in a cursed forest. Suddenly became silent. At plain sight, it was obvious she didn't take it well. Takes her time before responding. Yeah, but that was like a long time ago. She then closes her eyes and exhales, emptying her lungs. It seems to be recalling something painful. Just seeing her made me feel guilty. I'm sorry, it was not my intention to make you remember it. I said slightly remorseful. No doubt it was being accused of witchcraft must have been a horrible experience. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple times. It's okay. It's not like I can blame your curiosity seeing where we are. She then looks at me closely with curious eyes. By the way, do you know about me? Perhaps you are a sorcerer who's lived during these past centuries. Am I a sorcerer? I guess I would be a sorcerer, because wizards have to study to gain their magic, and I just have innate god powers. She asked, narrowing her eyes as if she was trying to see the inside of my mind. What kind of question is that? No, nothing like that. I answered at the moment. I'm just an ordinary person. I admitted boring, but she didn't need to know that. It's just that there are stories about witches in this forest, but as you can see, the stories are not very convincing, nor else I wouldn't be here. I explained, trying to remove any doubt that Ashley may have. Again, she closes her eyes and nods. I understand. She pauses, looking me in the eyes. It's because of those stupid myths that stupid humans come into this forest just like you, stupid baka. She then said, looking at me with rejection. Wait, what are you trying to say? We are to blame? I replied, feeling offended. Someone looks at me with disgust. Are you an idiot? Yes, if you hadn't come, my existence would be nice and peaceful, instead of this chaos that's happening every year, she said, ending with a sigh of frustration. But you're the one who caused all this. I was quick to respond. I didn't even bother to hide my anger. I can't believe what she says. How arrogant can she be? Ashley then opens her eyes, wide surprised. Then she looks at me with annoyance in her red eyes. Do you not understand, stupid human? Definitely, I don't like this girl. I definitely went Sigma, look me in the eyes. I definitely do not like this girl. I definitely do not like this girl enough to remember the exact path to getting her into the story faster. I definitely don't like this girl. I'm only trying to protect you. Her words take me by surprise. Huh? I explained incredulously. You attack me and attack my... okay, it's him. You attack me and attack my friends only to protect us? Yeah. She simply replied, but at the same time she nods, filled with pride and confidence. Oh, that's it. I'm getting out of here. Cannot believe how arrogant and self-centered this girl is. After everything she did to me and my friends, I can't stand her at all. Wait! I'd only taken a few steps when I heard her calling me. She sounds really worried. You don't understand the real danger in here. Stop my tracks as soon as I hear her. Real danger? I whispered, feeling some doubts. Suddenly I shivered. It doesn't look like she's lying. Yes, I was trying to chase them away using illusions. Other times I hit them with my powers. The last resort I scared them directly, as if it was your case. Ashley confessed, blushing a little as she felt embarrassed of remembering. And why do you do that? I asked, confused. Something isn't right here. Ashley stares at me with her red eyes. If they continue with their curiosity, they will meet an evil entity that will take their lives. What you say doesn't sound at all very convincing. What you meant to say, is a completely misunderstood entity. Yes, that's better. That's a better terminology. I immediately interrupted. The only evil entity here is you. Ashley shakes her head in denial. You're wrong. I'm the good one. She's not wrong. She is the good waifu here. Then she looked into my eyes with a pure innocence in hers. I can only laugh at that comment. It had to be a joke. After doing all that, you're saying you're good? Axel, quit being an asshole. Don't laugh. I'm only trying to protect you, replied Ashley, furious while waving her arms. She then crossed her arms, giving me an unpleasant look. Do you expect me to believe that? I replied, sarcastically. What she said made no sense, but somehow she seemed oddly convinced it was the truth. It was a bit wrong in my head. Yeah, it's true. You have to believe me. This time, she sounded really worried about me. I actually kind of feel sorry for her. Ashley then stays quiet, looking at me with puppy eyes. However, she soon recovers her proud attitude. If you want, hold my hand. I won't harm you, she suddenly says. I look at her carefully. She had a very arrogant face, as if it was a great honor to be able to touch her. You won't do anything strange? I asked, distrustful after seeing her again. I do not think she was lying. Ashley nods, full of confidence. Fuck. I promise to you. Fucking hell. Sigma, she said no, she wasn't gonna do any funny business. I stare at her for a few seconds, making sure this isn't a trap. Okay, but why do you want me to hold your hand? I ask at the same time I extended my hand. Ashley opens her eyes, surprised at hearing my question. Then she stares at me with annoyance. Are you stupid? Obviously to guide you out of the forest, she said, just as she takes my hand in one quick move. I then find myself being dragged by this strange girl. But this is the opposite way from where the melodious voice comes from, I said, looking back for a second. I felt really curious about who she was. You ignore that voice. It charms men into making them her victims. Think of it as a siren, Ashley explained in a bad mood, with her eyes always looking to the front. Seems she didn't get along well with whoever the person or entity was. Wouldn't you be the one who collects the souls of fuels? I said without thinking. I seriously need more experience with dealing with a girl. If only I was more popular. Ugh. Ashley stops suddenly. She then turns to me, showing me a furious face. You idiot. I already said I'm the good one. For a moment, I thought she was going to hit me on the head. But fortunately, she stopped before doing so. Or biting me again. Dang it. Okay. I meekly responded as if I was a scolded child. But if you eat me, I'll make sure to give you the worst indigestion of your life. You idiot. I don't eat humans, replied Ashley, ending with an arrogant snort. 3:11 a.m. Several minutes had passed since I started walking hand in hand with Ashley. At the beginning, I did not trust her at all, but more time passed, the easier it was to believe her. I hadn't noticed before how comfortable her hand was, soft and pleasant to the touch. I blushed thinking about it, even if she was a witch. She's a girl too, right? Then I sighed. Come on, Axel. Out of head in your brain and use your head brain, not your other brain. With every step, the curse of the forest seemed to weaken. The atmosphere was less oppressive every minute until finally I was able to get that unpleasant feeling. Before I noticed, the darkness had returned to normal, feeling only empty. The rotten smell also disappeared without a trace. Now I could really say I was in a common and ordinary forest, even boring. But I could not be more grateful for that. Just a little more to get out. Let's keep moving. Then I set my side on the back of Ashley, watching her walk in silence. She's completely focused on the simple thing. If you're the witch from the legend, why are you helping me? I suddenly asked, and all that stuff. Ashley stopped and turned at me with an angry face. Idiot, do you really think all witches are evil? She was right. The general image of witches is not good, but it's not as if stereotypes were truthful. She then closes her eyes, making an annoyed face. It's true that I had supernatural powers, but I never used them to harm anyone. Ashley lowers her sigh and pauses. Suddenly she looks sad. My only sin was to be born in the time of the witch hunts. That's why I was condemned. That explains it well. I feel that I can trust she is good, but there's still one more question. And how did you end up becoming a cat? Ashley immediately blushes. She was so embarrassed that it was almost adorable. Almost, not quite there. Just one little baby tick away from being adorable. Almost, very almost, but not, doesn't count. Doesn't count as adorable. Doesn't count. Well, before my execution, there was a cat watching in the distance, I guess. So I decided to transfer my soul to it. She explained, avoiding looking into my eyes. Of course, now we share the body. We have like kind of a deal. The cat will be happy as long as it has something to eat and a place to sleep. And I try to provide her with all those needs. And in return, she lets me stay in her body. As she talks, she is blushing shyly. I see. Okay. Does that mean you're currently a cat right now? Or did you magic your cat body into a girl body? I'm confused. I replied with confusion. Truth is that I found it fucking hilarious. Turns out she is both a girl and a cat. That answers some questions. She didn't answer my question. Closes her eyes and nods a couple times. If she wants to be, she can be very cute. Too bad that happens so rarely. Not saying more, Ashley continues walking to the exit. This time I stay in silence. All that remains for me is to escape from this place. So hear me out here. Well, here we are, Ashley said a few minutes after we talked. She isn't lying. I can see the end of the forest in the distance. I had to contain my desire to scream with joy at that moment. There must be like 2 other humans close to here. Your friends, I guess. Fucking nerds. Go with them and return home. I hope that nobody else comes tonight. Ashley said, giving me a subtle farewell, but strangely she does not let go of my hand. She looks deeply into my eyes. Amazed, I notice the gentleness that reflects on them. Can you make me a promise? She said suddenly with an honest voice. It was not the joke. What is it? I asked, full of curiosity. I don't know what I could do for a witch, but after helping me escape, I think she deserves me to hear her request. In this legend, she then murmured with an air of sadness. I can't understand what she meant, what she asked for something like this. I want you to help me to keep people away. The legend only attracts more people, as in your case. It seems to kill it, replacing the supernatural danger with a human danger. Human danger? So you want me to scare them with ordinary dangers as thieves or ferocious animals? On second thought, there's logic in what you asked. If you remove the element of magic, this only leaves the danger, then exploring the forest is not worth the risk. Nods and then look in my eyes, blushing. Yes, exactly, she said, pleased. Okay, I'll do it. You can rely on me. I responded, with determination. Looking at this waifu's face fills you with determination. I wanted her to know how serious I was. That it was not a promise I would forget as soon as I got out of the forest. Thank you. Then she closed her eyes momentarily and inflates her chest with pride. You aren't as stupid as I thought. I should have expected something like that. Hey, I told you to not speak ill of some persons when they're in front of you. She complained angrily. This girl simply will never change. To see my reaction, Ashley could not help but laugh. I'm sorry. This is the first time I've seen her so happy. It made me blush. Ashley looked unexpectedly adorable in that moment. We did it, boys! We ticked over that 0.001% to actually being adorable. We did it. My heart was nervously beating as if I was with a normal girl. Suddenly, she stares at me and gets so close her face is less than an inch from mine. Again, she demonstrates not knowing what personal space is. But this time, I don't know whether to be angry or thankful. Having her so close, a beautiful girl, makes me very nervous. This is farewell, she suddenly said. She then brings her lips to my cheek, gives me a tender kiss. How do I go back? There we go. Everything becomes white at that moment. Everything loses color. Everything is gone. Everything. Everything. Where's my wallet? Okay. I'm outside the forest. I have no idea how I made it here, but there's no illusion. I am bewildered, as if I've been sleepwalking. Axel! Axel! Suddenly you hear someone calling my name. But it's not any strange voice. It's the voice of my friends who are looking for me. Hey, over here! I shout without a second of hesitation, but with a bit of clumsiness because of my confusion. Soon they found me and impatiently run towards me. Where are you? The worry was killing us. Steven said with a face that I don't remember having seen before. Before answering, I rubbed my forehead. Within the forest, I couldn't find the exit. Alfred was about to say something, but before I interrupted him. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I was just lost. The important thing is we're all safe. Yeah, you're right. Hey, don't you feel we are forgetting something? If I remember at the same time, he lowers his sight pensively. Suddenly, a blurry image appears in my mind. It was white and bright, but I can't remember more. However, the weak memory awakens a strange feeling of nostalgia in me. It was as if I had lost something, but what could it be? Anyway, we should go home. This is being far too far for a far test of courage afar. I said with no intention of spending more and more men in this forest. We both agreed to me. With nothing else to say, we returned home. By the way, guys, we should write on the page to not go to the forest. Forget about the witches. Someone might get lost in there, as it happened to me. It was a miracle that I came out alive with that beast looking about. Before knowing it, my lips moved. Why did I say that? I have no idea, but something inside me inspired me to do so. To be honest, I have no memory of the beast I spoke of. All I can remember is it has red eyes, white fur, but nothing more. But I remembered something. I remember it was a promise that I made. I think about it for a moment in silence, but in the end, I can't remember a thing. No matter, all I know is that I got out and I'll never come back here again. Finn!